Hey guys, this is episode 3 of my video diary here at Gearist for Ironman Chattanooga. It's 84 days until the race, and I'm about to go out on another ride. It's quite hot outside today, about 95 degrees, a little bit of humidity in the air, which is odd again for Colorado, but we've been getting a lot of that lately. Some of the gear that I'm sporting right now, today the Superleggera course cycling jersey by Louis Garneau, really super lightweight. This is all see-through, which you may be able to see through. In the water bottles today, which I think is really important to mention, I'm using Goo Brew tablets. Now these are essentially just like Noon or some other similar kind of nutritional supplements, but in this case these are really, really heavy for me with electrolytes. Now those others are as well. This is just what I'm using right now. I really need that. I'm a heavy sweater. I lose a lot of salt, so it's important to me to be able to take those in. So I've got 2 bottles full, 2 largemouth bottles there, 2 24-ounce bottles right there, you can see, that are ready to go with me. And I usually will go through one of those bottles in an hour. Since this should be about a 4-hour ride, I'm not sure how I'm going to refill. The route that I'm taking, I know there is a store that I can stop at one spot and probably refill, so I'll probably have to do that. But otherwise, I'm a little hesitant to see where I'm going to be able to refill. So my advice for that is that when you're out, it behooves you, if you're on a ride or a run that's pretty long, to really plan your course accordingly around those things. For me, I know that I'll be able to go by this one store, but I probably will only be through 1 bottle by then. So regardless, if you have the opportunity and you think you're going to possibly run out of a bottle, stop whenever you can. Don't fill up from a stream or anything unless you know it to be free from bacteria like Giardia, which is, I think, a parasite. But make sure that if you're going to fill up from a stream or something, you know that it's clean. Because the last thing you want to do is wind up on your bike and have to poop your brains out on the side of the road. So, let's see, what else am I taking today? I'll be sporting the road ID again, yeah. And, oh, I'm wearing actually wool, excuse me, somebody's sawing something. I'm wearing wool cycling tights. These are by Icebreaker. Where's the thing there? Icebreaker. These are merino wool. Now, the part that hits the seat is actually covered in spandex, but the material itself for wool tights, again, it's 95 degrees outside and humid. It's really, really wonderful. Great stuff. It breathes well. It doesn't stink a whole lot, and it wicks moisture, gets moisture away from your skin really well. And I know that on this ride that I'm about to do, I will be sweating a lot because I sweat a lot always, but this particular ride has quite a big climb up the backside of Carter Lake Reservoir. So I know that I'll be sweating a lot. So anyway, I will see you from the road. Hey there guys, so I'm up now on top of Carter Lake, which is behind me. I'll show you a little bit better in a second. It's a good ride, hot, freaking hot and sweaty. I came up the north side of this lake, which I've never done before, and it's quite a brutal climb. Short-ish, but it hurts a little bit. So I stopped off. There's a marina store right over here that I stopped to re-up my bottles. So I'm good for the way home. Should be coming in at about, depending on how the ride home is, if there's a lot of headwind, it'll be closer to 4 hours. If not, probably closer to 3:45, 3.5 hours. So here's hoping, because I don't feel like fighting a wind on the way home. But it's a good ride. I'm not going particularly fast, not grinding hard or anything like that. That hill was an exception coming up there, because if I didn't grind hard, I wasn't getting up the hill. So feeling good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Oh, here's a little tip. Something that sweat in the eyes. Something that I would recommend that I try to do always if you carry a bike bag like that, put $5 in it. I used to say $1, but then things don't cost $1 anymore. You're lucky if something costs $1. And the reason is twofold. Number one, if you put $5 in it, you've got enough money to get pretty much any kind of drink, or 2 of any kind of drink that you might need at a store, unless you're getting like, 2 40s of Old English 800 or something. But chances are you're not getting that on your bike. So if you got a $5 bill in there, the first purpose is, again, so you can re-up on fuel. You can re-up on nutrition, whether that's food or water or drinks or what have you. The second is that if you puncture a tire, okay, if you get a puncture flat and there may be something sticking through, that you can't find, it's a really great way, after you've changed the tube, you kind of fold the dollar in half and line the tire with it. It's a really nice way to kind of limp home on it. yeah, I mean, I've put several dollars into my tires before. It's a good way to go, just to make doubly sure that, you know, sometimes on a steel belted tire, some of the banding pieces, some of the little steel fibers might come through and they can continue to pop your tube. So you throw a dollar in there and it'll keep you all set up. So anyway, off for the rest of the ride. Hey there guys, tonight I'm coming at you from the front porch of my house here in Longmont, Colorado, in Boulder County, Colorado, and I'm about to head out. And the reason I waited this late in the day is currently 8:30 p.m. almost. The reason I waited this late in the day is because it was so hot today. And while I am definitely working toward adapting my body to dealing with those hotter temperatures, it behooves me to listen to my body. And yesterday I got really very hot. I wasn't dehydrated, I stayed right where I wanted to be so far as hydration, but it was very hot on my ride. And if you saw a picture from that ride on Instagram or something like that, you probably saw sweat or salt all over me. So today I felt like my body really was just tired of being super hot. So I decided to wait till later in the day when it cools off. Now, it cools off, it's still like 84, 85 degrees out here. But the sun is not out. The sun is not beating down. I mean, one of the things here in Colorado that you have to worry about, and this is something you can account for wherever you live, is that it's not enough to just take into account the heat and humidity. It's that direct sunlight. And since where I'm running, there's not going to be any shade, that's definitely a concern of mine. So I'm heading out at night, I'll probably leave in the next 15 minutes or so after I finish talking to you guys and kind of getting my stuff together. But so the gear for tonight, I'm going to be wearing the Timex Global Trainer, and I usually, you know, I like to wear the Suunto Ambit 2S or something smaller like that than the Global Trainer because it's pretty big. However, I didn't charge my Suunto Ambit 2S, so this is going to be where tonight's workout comes from. Something interesting about that, if you rotate in between devices every now and again, I would really recommend before you head out, especially if it's going to be dark or something like that, but even in the sunlight, that you check to make sure you know where your buttons are, just because, you know, when your brain stops working, we've all probably, I mean, I've done this probably 50 times, where you go to save a workout and you accidentally delete it or something like that because your brain just kind of turns to mush after workout. So that's what I'm rocking tonight. Also, as always, the Road ID. And the shoe that I'm going to be running in tonight is the On Cloud Racer. Now, we reviewed the version 1 of this shoe kind of right after when we started pushing the Gearist YouTube channel a lot. This is version 2 of the shoe, and this is actually the shoe that Freddie Van Lierde ran in to win Kona last year. So good shoe, nice and lightweight. It's interesting, it's lightweight for this shoe, not necessarily lightweight for a racer, but really good shoe. I like the way that it works. We're going to be reviewing this in the next few weeks here, so keep an eye out for that. But again, the Cloud Racer from On Running, I think it's on-running.com probably. So check that out. Uses Cloud Tech. These little guys right here, very interesting, very open, very breathable. So we're wrapping up the review miles on this so we can get it to you guys. So apart from that, today's run is going to be pretty easy, honestly, because I've told you guys, you know, this is where tomorrow, Monday, is where the big training block starts. You know, this week wrapped up kind of the base building stuff, and then next week we're really going to kind of get into the work of a true training block. And so I wanted to take it easy today because my legs are probably going to get beat up next week, and then the following weekend I go out of town for about a week, and I'll be talking to you from there, from the Outer Banks. And while I'm there, it'll just be running and swimming, a lot of ocean swimming and running. I won't have a bike with me, so it'll be fine because my bike mileage is pretty good right now, but I really need to get those running miles in. So anyway, that's it. I will talk to you at the end of this. Run's over. Sweaty of hair. Again, it's pretty humid here in Colorado for whatever reason. My thinking is that I just need to get used to it. As with anything, you know, the human body can adapt to tons of stuff, or people wouldn't be able to run bad water successfully. So, good run, very good run. Kept it kind of like high zone 2, low zone 3. We'll talk about heart rate zones here in the next week or so. Yeah, good times. Now swim tomorrow morning. What's up, friends? It's Brandon. It's 82 days now until Ironman Chattanooga 2014. It is currently July 7th, 2014, and I am on the way to my first swim workout since I've been doing these video diaries. So a little bit background on me and swimming. Most people, not most people, but a lot of people that get into triathlon, Ironman or otherwise, you know, swimming is kind of their, let's just say, the weakest link. For me, that's not the case. Swimming is by far my strongest link. As in high school, was like super quick. So for instance, like my best time in the pool for like a 50 short course yard, so that's a 50 yard freestyle in a 25 yard pool, was about 19.4 seconds. So I come from a background of swimming, and that's one thing that I don't worry about. So during this whole series, I'll talk about swimming, but you'll have to excuse me if I'm not like sweating it so much, because again, it's kind of my thing. So today's workout should be pretty lax. I'm not doing a whole ton of distance or anything like that. What I'm planning on doing is, I don't know what I'm planning on doing. I'm doing a warm-up that's going to be 100 swim, 50 kick. So I'll go through that on each stroke twice, so fly back breast free. So we'll go through that until it's 1800, because each one of those is 600, so we'll do that 3 times. And then I'll bust into, I forget, I have this ladder, kind of downward ladder set that I like to do, which goes, it's all freestyle, and do it twice. It goes 150, 15 seconds rest. Each of these has 15 seconds rest. So 150, 100, 75, 50, and then that's it. And then I do that once without paddles and then once with paddles to work on the shoulder. So some of the gear that I use for swimming, I always use, I try to always use, the shorts that I use are jammers, so they look kind of like bike shorts. And they're made with Speedo Endurance Plus fabric. That stuff is amazing, and I've had these shorts, this pair of swim trunks, this suit, for over a year, and it's not faded, not stretched out, nothing. It's amazing. Doesn't have as much give as, say, like normal spandex, but it's really amazing. Also, the goggles that I use, as soon as I make this turn right here, my goggles that I use, people are scared of, but like old school people like me, I guess it's like the best goggle ever. They're called Swedish goggles. They're made by several different brands, make them, but essentially they're all the same. There's no gasket on them, as you can see there. It's just plastic right into your eye. It doesn't hurt. It's rounded out, so it's nice and soft in the eye. But what's great about it is they're super cheap, like $4 or $5 a pair. You can go to swimoutlet.com, just look for Swedish, and they'll come up. And they're also super customizable because you essentially assemble them all together. Also today I'll be busting out the soon to Ambit 2S, and I put it on stopwatch and just let it run. You know, I'm not timing each individual thing, like I don't stop and start the watch, because why? Because when I grew up swimming, the way that we would time workouts is with the big clock on the wall. So there you go, and I will see you after the workout. What's up, guys? Workout's over. Pretty good swim, 2,800 meters, I think, meters a yard, 2,800 yards. On the way home now, kind of get cleaned up and all that stuff and get the day started. Somebody asked earlier what camera I was using when running. So they're one of 3 cameras that you guys might see me talking to you from, or from which you may see me talking to you. The first is my iPhone 5. Do a lot of stuff from that on the kind of off-the-cuff type of thing, because it's easy. It's there. It allows me to post right to Instagram, things like that, should I need to. The second is a Canon PowerShot L300HS. And then the third, which was, somebody commented actually what I was using while running. When I would stop run and talk to you guys, it was probably the Canon, but actually what I was holding while running, and some of the still shot stuff, is a GoPro Hero 3 Plus. So yeah, that's what I use. This coming week, not this week, but the next week, I'll be actually in the Outer Banks of North Carolina a little bit. And so I'll be getting in some workouts there. It'll be interesting. I won't have my bike, so it'll be a lot of running, open water swimming. I may have mentioned that earlier, and I'll try to get some cool underwater GoPro stuff. The water there isn't exactly like the Bahamas or Florida or anything like that, so it's not nearly as conducive to wicked cool underwater shots. So this is the 3rd episode of this show. I appreciate you guys watching it. Again, thank you so much for all the support. Keep the likes and favorites coming, and questions. If you've got any questions about specific things regarding triathlon in general, the gear that I'm I'm using thus far, gear that I might be using in the future, nutrition, how to do a race, what kind of races are out there, whatever, just let me know. You can do that by emailing info@gearist.com or by leaving a comment in the comment section below. Also, as always, please follow us on Strava. Follow me on Strava. I'll be posting all my workouts there, and you know, Strava does have a paid version, the premium version, which is what I'm using, but then there's also the free version, and it gives you a really just a wealth of stats. And one of the coolest things I think you should check out is labs, labs.strava.com, and you can see their heat map, which is going to show you basically near where you are, basically the whole entire globe, who's running what paths the most. It's a really, really cool feature that is absolutely free from Strava. So over here on my right are the icons. My right, the left side of your screen, are the icons, social icons, whether it's Strava, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think Instagram. I need to add Instagram. I don't think it was there last time. And Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. So also, please be aware that there are promotions coming, so definitely be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much for following along, and we'll see you next time.